Today we are going to go on our grocery shopping trip. This is our mid-February grocery shopping. I actually haven't been to the store since January 13th. We should have went last week, but it was snowing. But I wanted to show you my lettuce that I'm going to take on TV with me tomorrow. So this lettuce is 4 weeks old right now, and it still looks totally perfect. So we purposely haven't been using the rest of this so we can take it tomorrow with us while we are on local TV in Seattle. If you're just meeting me, my name is Amy Cross, and this is the Cross Legacy, where I teach you how to save money on groceries. And one of those ways is reducing your produce waste. I'm the best-selling author, and our new book is the Zero Waste Produce Guide. Make sure that you're checking that out. The link is in the description, and we have a special code for you that is YouTube 15 for a special discount. Now we are going to go grocery shopping, and when I say we, I mean the content team, because they go with me and get to take extra clips of me grocery shopping. So our first stop will be Costco, and then we will go to Fred Meyer's before coming back home. So I have my grocery list all ready to go here. Today is February 10th, so I'm going to be getting the things that I need for Valentine's Day and for the rest of the month. We won't go grocery shopping again for another 3 weeks, and our grocery shopping budget is $135 per person here in our house, and there's just 2 of us, so my grocery budget is to stay under $270. But last month I didn't spend my whole grocery budget, so I actually have $370 in my grocery savings account right now. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button if you are just finding us. I am making it a goal this year to film all of our shopping trips and what we're eating every couple weeks. So besides just hundreds of produce videos we have here on YouTube, we're also putting a ton more recipes, freezer meals, and easy dinners for you to follow along with. We are in Costco. I have my grocery shopping list, and I always go back to the produce section first. You will see I will touch every single thing, and it drives my family nuts. But I really want to make sure that I grab the best bag of avocados, that they're not too rock hard, and if there's a better bag that I can grab, I'll do that. I was deciding whether or not I wanted to get the bell peppers there at Costco and get that large of a bag, or get them at Fred Meyer's next. And then deciding on getting things like the big package of cucumbers. And I wanted to get just one single cucumber and decided to get the small cocktail cucumbers at Costco. And then I'm looking at the fresh produce of oranges and apples. We always get a bag of lemons, those kind of things that I'm looking at Costco before we even get into the refrigerator section. And this time I did get a large bag of yellow onions at Costco, but normally I will pick those out individually at the grocery store because I like to feel around each single one and make sure that the skins are intact and they don't sound crinkly or mushy. And I love seeing what seasonal items are available. This time there was plums and Asian pears that were there, but I needed to buy apples and oranges for the TV segment, so I didn't get anything extra, but I probably would have got those plums and Asian pears if I didn't need to get so many apples and oranges this time. And then we moved into the refrigerator section. Now I try to buy organic as much as possible. The organic strawberries were way higher than the regular strawberries, and I kept going back and forth about whether I was going to get the organic ones because that's what I normally buy, but every single container had moldy ones in it, and I just couldn't do it. So I ended up getting the conventionally grown ones, and that's not what I normally do. But again, we're like an 80-20 kind of family where 80% of the time I'm trying to make the best organic choices I can, and the other 20% we just do what we can. So I kept loading up my cart with all of these fresh produce items. We got spinach and blueberries, the small cucumbers, grapes, snap peas, a bag of squash. I always get the large 6-pound bag of carrots. We go through one of those every single month. And then after I'm done with the produce section, I head over to the meat. This time we really only needed to get chicken breasts, and then I was looking at the price of the bone broth, which was just crazy. That's something that you can make for free. And I got some chicken and apple sausages, which I'll talk about later at the end of this. I got some different kinds of cheese, and I always get a rotisserie chicken so I don't get tempted to stop at drive-thru on the way home. And the rest of the things that we got at Costco we'll talk about once we get back home. I just want you to kind of see how I picked out those items while we were in the produce section and how I'm touching everything and feeling it and wanting to make sure it's the freshest produce I can put in my cart. Our second stop on grocery shopping day is Fred Meyer's, which is like Kroger in other parts of the country, but this is where I go grocery shopping, and it's always the produce section. Right when I walk in, I organize my bags. I have muslin and mesh bags in different sizes that are available on the 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒.com. And if you're interested in those, we'll probably have a discount code for them in the description, but I have them in different sizes and they're perfect to reduce single-use plastic in the grocery store. So I'm going to use those while I am getting my produce today. And then everything at the end of the shopping trip goes into my market bags, which I love. They fit over my shoulder and they're 100% organic and washable, and I've been using them now for years and they've held up so nicely. So again, those are available at the 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐊𝐒.com. There's a discount code in the description. But I just got a few things while we were at Fred Meyer's, and we'll talk about all the items once we get back to the house and they're on the counter. But I was going back and forth about what eggs to get. The eggs are just an extremely high price right now, and I was looking at the white eggs first and then realized that the brown eggs were actually a cheaper price, but they were still over $9, and so I ended up getting the brown eggs. And then I got a couple of the pantry items that we needed, something that was on sale that we needed, and again, we'll talk about this all when we get back to the house. We are back from our grocery haul, so this is just the Costco portion of it, and then we will move it to the side and show you what I got at Fred Meyer's. But I was able to stay just under our grocery budget and get all of these items. I don't go grocery shopping but once every 3 weeks. Sometimes we push that out to 4 weeks, and this is all the things that we're going to need and some extra things because I'm on TV tomorrow. So we got some larger quantities of items just to make sure that we can make a really pretty display tomorrow. But all of the produce that we are using for the TV segment, we will be using as our regular groceries, and none of it will go to waste. So we're going to get into it first with all of this produce, and there is a lot of it. This is where I go first when I go into Costco, is getting all of the great produce. I try to get as much organic as I possibly can. So things like apples and oranges, I was getting larger bags of those, and to make sure when you are storing them that you're keeping them away from each other and especially away from bananas. So I will hang the bananas on a banana hanging rack and then keep the oranges and the apples separate from each other. And we go through a lot of lemons here. Makes a lemon tea that he drinks every day. So I got a full bag of lemons from the store and a full bag of avocados. So those I'm going to store together in the crisper drawer, and they're going to keep each other fresh for over a month. Now, if you have a rock hard avocado, store those near your bananas, and that will make it ripen quicker, but it will also make your bananas so you have to eat the bananas quicker also. If you're trying to save money on groceries and don't care if it's organic or not organic, organic bananas and organic avocados will both end up saving you money because they don't ripen as quickly as conventionally grown produce that is sprayed with ethylene. At Costco, I got my spinach, and I always make sure that I get a big container of spinach, and any that I have left over in the refrigerator can get moved into the freezer. I also stocked up on berries. So I got strawberries, blueberries, and grapes today, and the strawberries are big and beautiful. You will see those after Valentine's Day, but I'm getting these so we can use them for chocolate fondue for Valentine's Day. And if I'm going to divide out how we're eating the berries, know that strawberries will last around 3 weeks when you wash them according to my instructions. Make sure you're checking out the Zero Waste Produce Guide for the detailed instructions. But strawberries will last 3 weeks, grapes will last 4 to 6 weeks, and blueberries will last 6 to 8 weeks. So I don't have to worry about buying a lot of berries at the same time and having them spoil because I can get them to last a really long time. I always get the large bag of Costco organic carrots instead of buying those small little baby carrots that are soaked in chlorine. So buying the organic carrots, I wash them, and that way I'm able to save the peels. I keep them in the freezer to make chicken stock, and I cut those into stick-sized pieces and put them in the refrigerator refrigerator in glass containers and they will stay crunchy for the entire month. I got some small cucumbers at Costco. Those I'm going to wash and put in a glass container with a paper towel, and they will stay crispy a lot longer than if you just put them in the bag. And by washing them, you're killing off the mold spores on them. I got a great big bag of bell peppers, and if we weren't going to use them quick enough, peppers are a great one that you can just chop up and put into the freezer, and then you can just throw them into recipes. And I got some dates, and since it's the middle of winter time, it's a great time to stock up on some dates. If you store those in a glass jar with a metal lid, they will stay fresh in the refrigerator for an entire year. They are great to add a little bit of sweetness to baked items or smoothies, or just eat as a snack. And I got some zucchini here also, which is just a great side to have. And again, it's the middle of winter time, so I like being able to rotate some of these produce items out. Now, zucchini that is from the grocery store or Costco that is this size needs to go into the crisper drawer with other produce items. And if it was a garden grown one that was the size of a leg, those can go into your pantry. Now let's talk about all the other things that I bought while I was at Costco. We always get Greek yogurt, which we use in smoothies and as sour cream and to thicken sauces. So I love that it's organic. Always get a tub of cottage cheese. I wish they had organic at Costco, but they don't have it. So we are what I call an 80-20 family. So 80% of the things that I bring home, I try to get organic and as close to single ingredient items as I can. And I'm okay with occasionally needing to bring in something that isn't organic. Or sometimes I just like the brand. So that's why I buy it, which goes for the Kerrygold butter, which I love this butter, and I noticed that it finally peaked over $15. So instead of getting a second one that was a Kerrygold, I did get the Kirkland brand grass-fed for the second one, and this one was only $9. And for the cheese for our fondue, I got some more Kerrygold cheese to be able to have that special thing for our Valentine's Day dinner. And then I got some mozzarella cheese, which we use for pizzas. So we were running low on that, and we make homemade pizza often. And I can just put these into the freezer and take out one at a time. And again, with the pizza, I got some Canadian bacon, and I divide those up into smaller packages before I put them in the freezer so we can have Canadian bacon and pineapple pizzas. We always have some canned pineapple here, and that is perfect for us to have a special Friday night dinner that doesn't cost very much. And I did stock up on some oil because we were running low, so I got some avocado oil. This is something that we didn't necessarily need just yet, but I had some extra room in the budget because I didn't spend all of it in January. So I was able to get a few extra items that were just kind of stock up for later items, and the avocado oil was one of them. I got a big package of bacon. Since our family is smaller now, I will divide the bacon into smaller packages and then freeze it, and that way we're not eating a whole 2 pounds of bacon at a time, and it will make around 6 different meals for us instead. And then I always get the Costco chicken, the organic chicken that's in the individual packages. They come in 2 pounds each package. And I find that when I cook that for dinner and then we have leftovers with it, or I put it in the freezer with a freezer meal, it's not getting frostbitten like the large bags of chicken seem to be getting. So it just seems like those large bags never close again, and we were getting frostbitten chicken, and I was just tired of it. So I started buying the 3 packages of chicken, and it has worked a lot better for our family that we're not wasting any. And then because I randomly was watching somebody on TikTok the other day, they had chicken sausage in a pasta dish, and I wanted to try. So that was kind of my extra fun thing I added to the cart, was this chicken sausage that I know that we're going to use. And again, those are in vacuum sealed packages, so I can take out what we need for the one meal and not have to use a lot at one time. So I tried to look for packages that are either already in vacuum sealed and it makes it where I don't have to repackage it, or I bring it home, and after I do the produce, then I make sure that I divide those up and put larger quantities of meat into smaller portions so we don't have to defrost a lot at the same time, and it ends up saving money on groceries. And then my last tip for this grocery shopping trip was I got a rotisserie chicken. Again, we are 80-20. This rotisserie chicken is better and cheaper than stopping in a drive-thru when you're tired on your way home from the grocery store. And I try to plan something that's super easy on the night that I am grocery shopping because one, we have been filming all day long. Two, I'm gonna wash all the produce tonight and put it away. So I wanna make sure that we don't have any extra effort that needs to go into dinner. It needs to be super easy, and I get to spend a half an hour after we get done filming washing produce, and then it sits out for like 2 hours while it dries and I can take a break, and then it's only like 15 minutes to get everything put away in the refrigerator. And I only go grocery shopping once every 3 to 4 weeks, so spending an hour prepping my produce is not a big deal. So this entire Costco haul was under $300, and I will tell you all the totals at the very end. We're in the middle of pushing this all over so I can show you the Fred Meyer's trip here, but I saw the snap peas and I forgot about them. I wanted to remind you that all the other produce items, most of the other produce items, I wash them with a 2-minute soak time, which will remove all the mold spores, 𝐂𝐻𝐿, Listeria, and other harmful pathogens. With beans and peas, you want to make sure that it's only 1 minute or it will destroy the item. So all of these items are in our zero waste produce guide, and they're listed out and have handy charts to make it super easy. So make sure that you're checking that out. And in the description is a link for it. If you buy the book and planner bundle, it is on sale, and there's an extra discount, YouTube 15, for watching this video. We have our produce bags here that are jammed packed, and I love that you can take these to the store and they fit on your shoulder just perfect. So we have 2 bags of produce and then another bag of stuff. We're gonna get into this, but I got some beets with the beet greens, which are just so pretty. These beets, I'm going to make pink hummus, which is kind of fun to make for Valentine's Day, but you can make it anytime. And I got some cilantro and parsley. These will stay fresh for over 6 weeks in the refrigerator when I wash them and I store them. And I got a beautiful head of lettuce. I'm taking this lettuce to be on TV tomorrow, but I have some lettuce that I showed right at the beginning of this video. This is the lettuce that I've been saving to be on TV tomorrow. This is exactly 4 weeks old today, and this is the brand new head of lettuce I got to take with me tomorrow. So you can see that when you store it properly, it's going to still look beautiful for weeks. I got a cucumber and some celery. So we always have our salad basket toppings. There's a random piece of lettuce in there. I got this butternut squash and this acorn squash, and when I saw the acorn squash, it actually made me hungry for one of the recipes that we have in the book. And so I got some ground sausage to make sure that I could make that sometime in the next month. And then in this bag is all of the produce bags. So I got some green apples. This is one of the medium-sized bags, and I love not having to add more plastic to life here. And then this one is jalapenos. I've been making these bagels lately. They're in the last meal plan video that are made from either leftover cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, which we always have. So they're a little bit higher protein, and there was some that had jalapeno cheddar bagels. So I decided I wanted to make those next. And if you haven't been following along, we've been posting all of our meals since the beginning of January. So we have 2 videos that are out already and a 3rd one that's going to be out any day. And then I got a whole bag of red potatoes and some baker potatoes that are in this bag. Normally I wouldn't buy so many potatoes all at once, but I need them for the TV segment tomorrow. And then there's some limes, some frozen peas, and 1 red onion. And while I was at the grocery store, I did get another summer sausage. I get these mostly for emergency preps, so they don't have to be refrigerated, and I like having them throughout the winter time just to make sure that we have something extra. And I always joke that we are Gen X and we grew up with like Lunchables, so we can make adult Lunchables whenever we want with these two. So anyways, so I did get some ground sausage, and this is in a styrofoam container. So I am planning on using this in the next couple of weeks to make that acorn squash recipe. So I will just leave it in this container knowing that I'm going to use it soon. And then when you get things that are wrapped like this, they actually last longer in the freezer. And so I got some maple sausage because I have been really craving biscuits and gravy lately. And kind of a pantry staple item that we were almost out of was some Dijon mustard, so that was on my list. I got some extra cheese. This will get mixed with the other cheese to go with our fondue. And oh my gosh, can we just talk about the egg prices right now? Like, we have backyard chickens and they're not laying because it's the middle of winter and they're older. And this whole chicken eggs shortage is really like just driving up the prices for eggs. So this one 18 pack was $9 for these eggs. And normally we always have hard-boiled eggs that we eat as snacks, and we have really cut back on that lately because they are so expensive. So I'm really thankful that we have backyard chickens, but they do cost to have feed and those kind of things to keep up with them. But this egg shortage and the egg prices is not going to get better for at least 6 months. And then since they were on sale, I did grab a buy one get one free of the Kinder's barbecue sauce. These were not on my list of needing today, but they were on my list of things that were low in the pantry that if I saw them on sale, I was going to grab. So all of this stayed under budget, but I want to talk about that a little tiny bit. So that grocery budget is $135 per person in our family. And so we have a $270 grocery budget for us. And you see, this is all like grocery items. It's not makeup or shampoo, those kind of things. It's things that we would eat. And last month we went to Costco and Fred Meyer's. We only went to the grocery store one time. It was on a filming day. It was on January 13th. And I ended up spending $176 that day. It left me having $93.35 in the grocery budget. So we have one debit card that is only for groceries, and Mike on paydays puts that money aside so that money is always there in my grocery account, and we just roll it over if there's anything extra. So in January, I only went to the grocery store that one time, and I was trying to do bare bones of what we needed because I was doing a pantry challenge, and we have a meat delivery that is coming that's already paid for. So every 2 years we get a meat delivery of a half a beef, and that comes out of that same grocery budget. We just put a little bit aside each time. So in January, between the pantry challenge and wanting to be extra careful that I had a little bit extra money in there just in case a price was a little bit different when we got the meat delivery, I had almost $100 in there. So coming into February, I had $363 in my bank account. So that's what I left the house with. And then next month I will get the normal grocery budget back again. So I was able to buy some of these extra things that I really didn't need right now, but it was a great thing to have that will help us not go out to eat, like having the pizza supplies or buying the extra oil that was on sale right now, or butter. We're kind of picky about it, and it was actually in stock. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough that we can put in the freezer. This butter will last for over a year in the freezer if we don't use it. So again, it was a good place to put some of that money. And I was able to get that one special thing to make a recipe, which was getting the extra chicken sausage. So I get to try a new recipe, which is kind of fun, and it kind of mixes up the meals that we're having. And I love that there was a little bit of wiggle room in the budget too when I saw the acorn squashes to be able to go and then get the sausage for that also. But you can see that most of the things that we have in our house are ingredients, and this is what we use. And I know people are going to comment about the milk. We used to get, and normally we get Smith Brothers that comes and delivers to the house, but the prices have gotten so high lately that we have switched to getting milk at Costco, and we still have 2 left in the refrigerator from the last time when we went grocery shopping, which was in January. But we get the A2 milk that lasts a really long time. So with it just being Mike and I here, we don't go through a ton of milk. We drink a lot of water. People ask what we drink all the time. We drink a lot of water. I drink about 84 ounces of water a day, so I'm really not drinking much of anything else. For the grand total of this, it was $291.12 at Costco. It was $70.37 at Fred Meyer's, which is a total of $361.49. And I have $1.86 left in my budget. I hope you like these grocery hauls. We are really true and honest that we only go grocery shopping the one time a month, and we won't be going back grocery shopping until the middle of March.